freedom is everything. And this is a really, really important principle in life that I have found, because I think a lot of people don't realize, the price that they pay in order to have security, and that price is typically paid in terms of their freedom. I think a lot of people are willing to sacrifice their own personal freedom in order to have other things, whereas freedom, for me, is one of the most important principles. When you're born into this world, okay, when you're born into society, you are not born free, okay? I don't care if you're born in the United States of America and you think America freedom, it's not true. What you have to do in order to live, okay, is you have to figure out how to get food, how to get water, how to get shelter. Otherwise, you will die, okay? And those things are not automatically provided for you. Your parents may care for you and protect you, but as an adult living in this country or living in this world, you have to figure out how to acquire those resources, and you require those resources on a daily basis. You have a mortgage on your life, right? This is a concept that I like to think of a lot, because it means that in order for you to just live, there's a certain upkeep, a certain cost that is associated with that, all right? And you have to pay that. If you're not able to pay that, you suffer the consequences, okay? And regardless, the way that you pay that compels you to do shit that you don't want to do. Working a regular job, most of us work jobs because we need to pay our rent. We need to buy food. We need to buy basic things that we need to survive and live on this planet. And so you're forced to do so. Most of us are not free. We're not free in the financial aspect. We're not free in a social aspect. We're not free in the sense that we carefully measure what we say and what we do because of other people, because of politics, because of our work, because of what people will think of us, right? One of the things that I always tell you on this YouTube channel is I don't give a fuck. I'm going to say whatever the fuck that I want to say, and I have no one to answer to. It doesn't matter what I say on this channel. I can be unadulterated and genuine and unfiltered with you, because aside from YouTube shutting me down, which again, don't give a fuck, there's nothing. I don't have a job. I don't have an employer. I don't care what my social image is. It doesn't affect me, because I have money that is passive income that takes care of my financial freedom, but also my political freedom. I can do whatever I want. Now, most of us though live in the constraint, right? We have family, we have friends, we have a job, right? We have all of these things that there's implications to us just doing whatever that we want, right? To having true social freedom. So we care what too many other people think of us, and that influences our behavior and our actions. We are seeking safety. So it is us limiting our own freedom. You may want to go and do a lot of things with your life, but you don't do those things because you're trying to make the smart choice, right? You're taking the safe path in life that is going to be smart. Most people, they go to school, okay, they get good grades, hopefully they go to college, they hopefully get good grades again, they get their degree, they get a job, they put their money in their 401k, and they save up their money so that they can retire. They take vacation 2 weeks or 3 weeks out of the year, and that's it. They don't go and live the life that they want to live, okay? They don't become a painter or an artist if they want to, or a musician, or they don't become an actor, or they don't go and travel the world, or all of the kind of things that you might want to do with your life, or make YouTube videos, right? Or create an online business, something like that. They don't do those things because they're trying to make the safe route out of life. There's a lot of ways that we restrict our freedoms. A lot of it comes from, like I said, internal, but a lot of it also comes from external, and then it also comes from just the things that we have to do to survive. I have lived a life where I did not have freedom, right? To me, I'm willing to make a lot of sacrifices. I'm willing to sacrifice friends, relationships. I'm willing to sacrifice money. I'm willing to sacrifice pretty much anything in life to have freedom, because I know what it's like to not have freedom and to me, it's not living your life. That is my highest principle, my highest goal, and there's nothing that someone can ever do or trade me that is going to prevent me from seeking my freedom in life. And I think that that is the way to live your life. When we put freedom as our highest principle in life, it prevents us from being manipulated by other people. All the ways in which people manipulate us have to do with them trading something to us that we want, like security a lot of times, validation, those type of things, for our freedom. The same thing when we go and we work a job, right? When we, I'm not saying that you don't have to make money, okay? But I am saying that it might make sense to figure out a way to make money on your own, to become an entrepreneur of some sort. Because when you go and you work for someone else, what are you doing? They're giving you some stability. They're giving you money and stability so that you can have, some security in your financial future, but you're trading your freedom, right? What are you doing 8 hours a day? You're working for them. You're doing what they tell you to do. Okay, that's a trade-off. I'm not saying it doesn't ever make sense to make that trade-off. I've made that trade-off in my life, but I'm not making that trade-off anymore, okay, because my freedom is way, way more important than that relationship. What we do is we put expectations on people, but we allow them to put expectations on us because we're attached to that relationship, right? A lot of times, a lot of you guys that I do coaching with dating kind of coaching, one of the reasons why you come off as needy and why you have problems so much with either attracting women or keeping them in your life when you have them is because you have expectations. You are needy, okay? And so they can manipulate you, and anyone in any kind of relationship, doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, they can manipulate you if you fear the loss of them. But if you're a little bit more stoic in your mindset and freedom is your highest principle, then you are not worried about losing them. You're willing to say, look, hey, you know what? If you're here, it's great. I like you. Heck, I might even love you. But here's the thing. I am not going to allow you to put expectations on me. I'm not going to allow you to restrict me, right? When someone puts an expectation on you, it's basically a restriction or an obligation on you, which restricts your freedom. I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to make my choices. And, if you're okay with that, and if you're cool with that, you can be in my life. I like you being in my life. It's great. It's awesome. But I'm not going to let your disappointment in me or your expectations of me limit my scope of my life. I'm going to live my life the way that I want to. I'm willing to accept the consequences that living my life will entail. And if you're there, cool. If you're not, cool. I know a lot of people wouldn't necessarily agree with that principle, but for me, it is one of the highest ones that I live my life by, because like I said, I've lived my life in captivity. I've lived my life in financial captivity. I've lived my life in such a way that, I was trying to protect myself emotionally, trying to protect myself financially, trying to protect myself physically. And I've realized that I'd rather take the risk. I'd rather, have freedom and accept the consequences in all those areas, and I'll be much more happy than being in that captivity. A couple of quick tips here if you want to gain more freedom in your life. The first one is this: do not put expectations on people. Do not allow them to put expectations on you. You do not expect things from people. Like that's where it starts. Is people will behave how they behave. If you don't expect loyalty, you don't expect any kind of behavior from another person. You just accept whatever their behavior is. Now, you don't have to continue to be in a relationship with them. You don't have to continue to tolerate interacting with them or doing business with them, but you can't expect them to behave a certain way. Now, with the same token, you are also dismissed from the expectations of other people. You don't allow people to guilt trip you, to put expectations on you, to tell you that you need to behave or act or do a certain thing. You don't allow obligations. Right? You just say that, all relationships should be at will. That's a really good place, because most people, if you look at their lives, like probably the most restricting thing that restricts the freedom in your life is all these obligations that you feel like you have to other people. You got to go and buy them a present for their wedding, or go to this stupid wedding, or you got to go and, talk to this friend that you don't really want to talk to, or you have to go buy, whatever gift for whatever occasion, or, all these kind of things, or you can't go and do this because what would this person think, or I can't, live my life this way, right? All of these things restrict you down, okay? What would my parents think if I quit college, if I went and started to become an entrepreneur or did something like that, all of these things like restrict you down and lock down your freedom, okay? And especially romantic relationships. A lot of people give up everything in their world, and especially a lot of men, and they lose all their freedom, and then they become unattractive anyway, and they just create a miserable prison for themselves. So that's the first thing. The second thing is financially. Okay, financially, that's the second restriction that restricts most people. You need to gain financial freedom. Okay, now the way to gain financial freedom, the short of it is basically this: when your expenses in life, okay, are the same as your passive income, then the money that you don't have to work for, or your passive income is higher, you're free. Okay, your upkeep is paid. You're unmortgaged your life. You can do what you want. The third thing I would say, as far as freedom, is, and this is kind of the focus of this channel. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button down below and join us. Is developing the mindset, what I call the Bulldog Mindset here. But it's basically dismissing the victim mindset and getting rid of all of these things that prevent you from doing what you could be doing in life, right? A lot of it is that we're inhibited socially. We're inhibited because of things that are internal, right? We have to overcome our demons. Some of those demons are our fears, right? Why is it that you are so afraid of what other people think? Why is it that you can't go and talk to that girl that you want to talk to? It's because you're afraid. There's nothing actually that's going to hurt you, but you believe it, right? You're afraid. You have this ego, you have this irrational fear, okay? Why is it that you're not taking the risk and starting that business or doing that thing? You've got something that's blocking you. You're afraid. Maybe you're lazy. Maybe you're procrastinating, right? That's stopping you. It's actually preventing your freedom because you're not actually doing what you want to in life. There's a lot of issues internally that also we need to solve, and that's one of the things that I really focus on this channel. Discipline is a huge one. So if that's something that you're struggling with and you want to gain more freedom, definitely subscribe. The next one I think we'll be talking about is live your life, accept the consequences, which is a huge principle and something that is really important to understand. All right, guys, that's all I got. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.